watch Survivor, and when the show ends, you really want to talk about it with like-minded friends. It might be hard to find some, but don't you shed a tear. Check out the Purple Rock Podcast, and this is what you'll hear. John will make some dumb jokes, Andy likes to yell and curse, and if they're not available, the backup hosts are so much worse. Spend the whole time being jerks, telling you you're wrong, and so we got this other jerk to sing you our theme song. It's the Purple Rock Survivor Podcast.
Welcome to the Purple Rock Survivor Podcast. I am John. My co-host is Andy, and this week we are talking Survivor 49, Episode 10, which means we are fast approaching the time when we can finally all focus on Season 50, the way the show just so clearly wants us to. But until we get there, Andy, are you ready to talk about farts instead of talking game? Because that is going to be my focus this week. Just we're out here, we're just talking farts.
I mean, I feel like we could finally update the logo of our podcast and that to add that, and thus it would be a little bit more accurate.
I mean, it's certainly one of the three things being out fart is more on brand for us, I think.
Yeah, certainly more than how tweet.
Yep.
That's not a thing.
Nope.
Or out blog. Sure.
Yeah, no. None of that's happening anymore.
So yeah, Mark, if you're listening, it's now going to be out fart, out burp, out podcast.
I feel like we could get we could get a third thing that's not the burp. You got to broaden your focus, you know? We'll find something. Yeah. Out bro? No.
I don't know if we could.
No. It'd be ironic, bro.
There's a lot of those podcasts out there.
That's true. Hey, but going back to ours though. We'll start as we always do. Did you like this episode?
Yeah, this is where the hot takes will begin. I think there's some disagreements because my answer is yes.
Okay. Yeah. This one made me irrationally angry, and I recognize that's the wrong thought to have, right? Like, I know I shouldn't be angry. I know what I'm working with. None of this should have upset me. And like, I'm glad that the bad players are getting punished for their badness.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Great. I'm glad that is happening. But just watching it, and I think this is an experience you can relate to, right? Like, you'll have those seasons where your favorite team sucks, right? Any sports fan, that will happen. And, there's times you're just like, I'm going to watch the games anyway, and it's not going to bother me that much. I know they suck. I'm going in with low expectations. This will be fine. I'm just watching a sport now. This is cool. My team will probably lose because they're not good. It's fine. And then you start watching and you get annoyed because they suck. And you're like, why aren't they good at basketball anymore? And that was my experience in this episode. That's exactly what happened. I was like, no. I know they suck. What am I expecting? And yet I still got mad that they suck.
I mean, I think your mistake was betting on the Generals.
Roughly that, yes.
I'm out here rooting for, Globetrotters is probably giving them too much. But yeah, the turn I made last week really made this week more enjoyable. Because last week, if those of you remember, maybe only tune in for the holiday episodes, I found rooting interest in that, like rooting against, right? It's like, you guys are idiots. I need to see you fail. And that got me through last week and then a lot through this week. Now, there wasn't as epic a failure as I was hoping for, and we'll get into that, which I think is another source of your frustration.
Mm-hmm.
But there was enough that I was like, I was enjoying, like, I'm just now, I've given in. I'm fine. I'm here for the Rizo Savannah ride. Now, the thing about it is, I don't even like them that much, although Rizzo's more than growing on me.
Really?
He's for this season, he's giving, I want people to do things, right? And stuff, and we're going to get into that. So he's doing it. Like, is he going to be like a favorite? No, he's a 25-year-old kid. I'm very old. By the way, do you know that he's 25?
Yeah, I know. It really...
You're probably thinking of him as younger.
He really gives like 20, 21. Yeah.
But that could be because we're getting so much older, right?
I don't know, man.
I know.
Yeah.
But it's like, they're going to go out there and do stuff and make the other side look dumb, and I'm here for it. So, this episode gave me a lot to chew on.
See, for me, like, I'm not on board with the Rizzo thing. Like, I'm still annoyed by his general vibe. What I am coming around on, though, is Savannah. Again, not a fan of either of them, really, but a thing or two happened in this episode, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to enjoy this for what it is. So,
yeah. I may not have to like it, but
no. Like, I understand what's happening. I'm just going to appreciate what's happening. Not endorse in any way. I'm just going to be like, okay, this is an entertainment I can appreciate. So, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm like consistent, right? Like my type is, and not always, because you don't always get this, but like what I enjoy most out of Survivor is when people are active and doing things that work, right? And often, you can be active and doing stupid shit, or you could be very successful in Survivor and not really be all that active. Like it's not a necessary ingredient for success,
right?
Because there's so many different ways to skin the cat or Survivor. But that's what I like most. And like they did a lot this episode. How much of it mattered or whatever, we'll get into. But it's stuff, man.
Yeah.
I want stuff.
Well,
especially this season.
Let's talk about something that was a lot and, may or may not have mattered. And that was like, I know we're skipping ahead, but let's talk about the fake idol thing that Rizzo did. What was your take on that one?
There's a lot of people debating it in comments, like, was it this good for that? We did it, in DMs, like, what's the strategic value? I'll even admit, as he does it, I pause and, like, think out some strategic possibilities for what it is, and we'll get into that. But for everybody that's really trying to find the strategic goal, I feel like I need to remind everybody, how about them fake idols, though? Remember, I have paused this a long time ago. You guys are long-time listeners. You should believe me, because it's bore out so many times. There is no strategic value to a fake idol play, and there's probably not one to this one either. So just enjoy it for what it is.
Yeah. I mean, my working hypothesis is just he wanted to be a little shit that gets camera time. It worked.
Yeah. That is probably it. Now, I do want to get into like ways that possibly, or what he could be thinking if it's not that, or maybe it could be this. But ultimately, I think he was just stunting on them hoes. And like Jeff has already said it, man. There's spot open on 50. You want to do something? He might have booked his ticket with this stupid ass shit.
Okay. And unless people argue, well, that's not it. There was a strategic value to it, whatever. Hey, in tribal council, Rizzo specifically says, like, no, this is where the game is played, and this is, the performance time or whatever. Like, yeah. So this supports our working theory that, like, he's just trying to be a little shit that gets some more camera time. It works.
He said, let's have some fun.
Sure.
And man, you know what it was? He fucked with those people for a few minutes. They didn't know what was happening and all of that. And in the end, like, nothing really changes. So, possible strategic things. One, this is the first one I thought of that I don't really believe anymore, but like it kind of in the moment. Everybody's talking that he has this idol, right? It's all this. And it's like, hey, idol, maybe we got to target him, but maybe we don't. Why is he going to play it? Is he not going to play it? Then it's like, well, I'll just play this fake one. Then everybody can think that did I ever really have an idol? Now, where that falls apart is like 3 people saw him get that idol. None of them are Savannah's the only one left in the game. Right. But like Juwan was one of them. Juwan's like, play it, dude, play it. Why aren't you playing? Which, great poker face, Juwan. It's like, why do I need to play it? Aren't you with me? And the fact that you want me to play it is suggesting that you're not with me, in which case playing it the way you tell me to play it probably isn't going to do much. But anyway, so yeah, like that could be a reason why someone would play a fake idol when they have a real idol, is to take the heat off of them. It's like, oh, they never really had a real idol after all. And where that falls apart is like, well, why would you play it though? Unless you didn't know that it was fake, right? And then,
Right.
then that could be some like crazy galaxy brain stuff. It's like, what?
Right. Well, that's what
Somebody
I'm saying.
fooled me.
Then you'd have to sell it, right? You would have to like be dramatic, like, oh my God, what? Oh, I've been duped. Like, he didn't do that shit at all. Just
No.
kind of smiled.
So that's not it.
Right.
I have other ideas, but I don't know if you want, like, we could take turns or.
No, my idea is just that he's a little shit. This is biased by my own thinking of how he is as a person.
But yeah, and I'll just say, your take is he's a little shit, and my take is, yeah, fuck it, be a little shit. Like,
yeah.
I'm here for somebody just doing stuff because it's entertaining. Because if the only motivation, because it's the only one that truly makes sense, is let's watch these people squirm for a bit and put us on a show for the jury.
Sure.
Bravo, that's all I need, right? So another possible strategic thing, which again, I don't think it is much like if you have an idol and your vote doesn't matter, it's a good idea to play your shot in the dark first. Because first off, if it hits, you don't got to play your idol. But secondly, and we saw Rachel do this, is like you can gauge the reaction when everybody's like, oh no. And so like there's a sliver of possibility, especially because this is post 47. He'll have seen 47. He does that and then just turns around. And obviously, I don't know, like, I didn't rewatch this or anything. It's like, he just needs to see how Sophie reacts, Yellow Sophie, right? If Yellow Sophie suddenly panics, then you know you actually have to play an idol because she's not with you.
Yep.
If she doesn't really do anything or is like, okay, then you don't need to play an idol. She's with you, and all that matters is that you have 5 votes to the other side's 4, right? So maybe that, but like, given the way he reacted then, given the way he reacted afterwards, like I do think he did this for the lulz, and I can't say that I hate that.
That's fine. I mean, it's again, I will agree with you in that at least he's doing stuff. I don't enjoy him. I find him obnoxious. And the speech before handing over the fake idol.
Oh, yeah. And that's the other thing. Like, you have a strong dislike of, like, manufactured personality.
Yes.
Stuff.
And that is 100% what that was. And it just irked me. So, yeah. I mean, again, I guess my most hated personality, though, in this game is the, like, complete personality of void. So he's not that. I mean, he's annoying, but in my scale of annoyances, there are people that outrank him by simply being like a constant presence that makes me wonder, how the fuck did you get cast on a reality TV show?
Ooh. Now, I mean, for 2 of them, they kind of weren't, you know, they gave off big time alternate energy.
That's true.
Like, you're fine. I mean, we're not losing anything if you don't get on the show, but like you'll do.
Right. If we have to, we'll take you.
Like, we wouldn't want to wait. Like, if we thought yes for sure, then you would have just been on the cast.
Yep.
But then there's some other, we'll get to it. And like, obviously, like, I have no issue with arrogance in reality show contestants, but unearned arrogance I do not like. And that's kind of where he was at the beginning and off, with his puffery. But at this point, I kind of feel like the boys earned some of it, right?
For sure. I mean, we said last week, the week before, I think, I'm not a fan, but shit, like, I'll give him credit. He's doing the right things. He's making the right reads. So, like, okay, he's playing well. Even if I don't enjoy it, he's playing well.
And then I'll say, so I think it was all, just theater, right? It's cinema, as he would say, apparently. Which enough people have written in that, apparently that is a thing. It's not Rizo inventing slang and trying to make fetch happen. Apparently, like, it's more of, I think, what I gather, like a subset of like streamers or whatever. But sure, that's youth culture. There might be some value in the theatrics for this season with the people he's competing against, right? Like, a big thing we've been repeating, we'll talk about again tonight, is how risk adverse these people are. And like, he's been taking advantage of that.
Yep.
He knows they're not going to come for him. So then it emboldens him to push them harder. Well, after this display, maybe everybody will just be like, oh, we can't do anything. Like, he's just running circles around us. It could blow up in his face, right? It could finally we have to do something. That will be entertaining too, right? Like this is a callback. Like Boston Rob was always messing with the people on The Amazing Race. And for most part, it was awesome. He was succeeding. But there was times when he pushed them too hard and then he almost lost as a result because it forced these complacent contestants into doing something they wouldn't normally do. So that could happen as a result of this. That would be good too. That'd be a positive outcome because it's not like I'm deeply invested in success, but there's a chance that putting this fear of God into them, oh my God, he did this and he did that and he made us look stupid. We don't even know what he's doing. Will make these terrible players play even worse.
And alternatively, by doing this and drawing attention to himself, he might then be able to attract the vote to himself and actually play it to great effect.
Yeah.
Which, is there some strategic value to that? Do I think that he's thinking 3 steps ahead like that? Probably not.
No,
but
I think he wanted to make a TV moment.
Yep. Are you done with your Rizzo theories?
Yeah, that's all I got.
Okay.
And what's nice is that he's not the only one that was putting on a show with that tribal council.
Well, I want to talk about it because, obviously Savannah did as well. But I want to talk about...
Hers had even less value than his. What are you learning here? You're voting that guy out.
I want to talk about Savannah. The episode, this is the thing that turned for me in this episode, right? As I said, not on board with Savannah. But during the challenge, I need to talk about the absolutely psychotic behavior of yelling, "Do it for your fucking mom," at a woman clinging to a balance.
This lady was just hysterics and tears. She's true human grief.
She is crying, holding onto a balance beam after just going through this emotional thing prior to the challenge, and you get in her face and yell, "Do it for your fucking mom," as though you are an aggressive personal trainer at the gym. Just what the fuck is happening?
Savannah is going to be just this crazy cheer mom in the future if that's the route she chooses. Yeah.
Oh my God.
You get it. You see it. What I've been saying, right? It's is she likable? No, but wow.
It was unhinged behavior. Who fucking does that? And so for that, I can appreciate that for what it is, which is nuts.
Yes.
It's nuts. That's what I appreciate it for being.
Yeah, and then we get more of I loved her conversation with Kristina when Christina's trying to suss her out.
She just directly comes at her, and Kristina's oh my God, what? You're oh, you just really came at me there.
Savannah's this is how I play. What's up?
Right?
What is it?
Staring daggers through her. My God. Yeah, again, that's what turned it around for me. I'm all right, you know what? She's this very specific type, and I'm just going to appreciate that for what it is.
Yeah. And yeah, so the same thing, at tribal council, all the votes are cast, all that and that, and the votes are being read, and then she's trying to, did you turn on me? Did you again, it can only exist to get the poor guy's hopes up or something before this is a cat playing with her food. This is what Savannah is.
It was very good.
I mean, again, I would hate to be around that energy in real life, but fucking if it's not energy on my TV screen.
Well, and not only that, but this is, again, where one of those things happens where it's I'm not rooting for Savannah, but I am rooting for the bad play to get punished, right? And as a little bonus, I am rooting for someone who keeps referring to himself as my boy to get voted out. It's just yes, please, just torment him on the way out. I'm fine with that. The passive play, and just entitling himself to be my boy. You are not my boy. Sage is my boy. Don't do this shit to me. I want Savannah to fuck with him. And she did. So good. I enjoyed that.
Yeah, so again, like, would I like a season where I'm rooting for people that I genuinely enjoy and all that? Absolutely, but you get the seasons you get, and the past 2 episodes have at least given me something.
So
Whereas before, like, this is better than Indifference.
right, and I mean, I am like iffy on whether I like this episode. I think generally I liked that stuff that happens. It certainly gave me a lot to talk about, which isn't always true in a season with boring players, right?
Yeah.
Like,
But sometimes if it's always bothering you, then that's probably not a positive experience.
Exactly. And I feel like by next week, I'll have calmed back down and be like, fine, go ahead, march to your graves, terrible players. It's fine. I don't care. It's sort of like the, shit, now I don't remember the season anymore. Was it 46 with D? Where there's just like 45, where you're just like, I know what's coming next week. It's fine. I don't care. I'll still tune in and be like, oh, wow, the exact thing that we all assumed was going to happen happened, because it was an inevitable path, right?
Yeah.
There's at least still some wiggle room in this one.
Yeah, man. I don't necessarily feel like one of those two are winning.
Nope.
It's just clear that they're gonna do some things for a bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, like the way that they're playing, and I think they did some really good things tonight, and we'll get into that. But it also leaves them open to be taken out at some point.
Well,
just from their own hubris.
So then are you saying that you think what they did at Tribal Council was a good play?
Again, Tribal Council is whatever, but just in general for the episode, like turning around that they had 3 people presumably in their alliance, and is able to turn that situation. Like the best thing that they did was draw Yellow Sophie into their web, right?
Right.
And this was a multi-episode thing. We obviously saw it last week.
Yep.
But the investment paid off. And not only is Sophi willing to vote for them, but then Sophi follows their plan. Like Sophi seemed very motivated. It's like, I want to vote out the people that, betray it, not full betrayal, but like we're ready to cast me aside, right?
Right.
And that's not what happens here, right? They then shift the vote from Steve and Kristina to Jawan. Or actually, Jawan Sage. And I think, getting her to agree to make, to join with them, to then make the switch. I think switching was the right idea, and we could get into that. But I think all of that was a very good play. And I think probably the best part of it is a thing that so many people screw up, is that to get Sophie's buy-in, they let her pick the ultimate choice.
Mm-hmm. Which, again, was the right play. And you're right. Really what happened is this was an ongoing strategy of bringing her in, right? We saw them working at it last episode. Groundwork was laid.
And it even goes all the way back to, like, them trying to get MC out instead of just settling for Sophi.
Right.
Like, that long-term planning is paying off.
Yeah, exactly. So it's reaped rewards for them. And in this episode, it wasn't even just, Sophi came to vote with him. Sophi, like, proved her loyalty by saying, like, here's the plan, it's against you, here's some names. Like, she went all in with disclosing information to them, specifically to Savannah.
I've heard that Kristina probably has an idol.
Exactly. Yeah, she's just spilling. So, I mean, good on them for being a group of 3 that should have been down so many fucking numbers, and just through a combination of their own relative competence and the utter failings of the other side, now they're in a solid position in this game.
Yeah. And like at least one lucky break with the split and all of that. But
sure.
Yeah, no, so it's just like, yeah, man, it's like they played this well, and like I think it was the right call to, instead of taking the risk of, is the idol going to be played for Kristina? Does she have an idol? Is she going to play for herself? Is she going to play for Steven? Because obviously, if they had just been like, no, let's just go Steven, he's the bigger threat, they would have they would have lost.
Yep.
Right? So moving the target to just like, hey, well, why don't we just get rid of one of these flippers? I think that's the right move. Now, one thing is, a few weeks ago, you weren't here, but like I think where the critical error for the other side that the whole season is spun from was not taking the shot at Rizo and Savannah, and instead taking a shot at Nate.
Yep.
So why was that, in my mind, just a crucial error? And this is the smart one. Context matters, right? At that time, they had this free and clear shot at two people that were identified as true threats.
Yep.
One has an idol. One is an insane, maniac who's fucking like dives on keys and doesn't even know what they're doing.
Right.
And it's like, that they're not going to play their idol because you have two people in their camp willing to flip and they're unaware of it. They think they have the numbers. You have this shot. They're like, oh, I don't know. Maybe we'll just get. So that was weak-willed. You had it clear. Whereas this one, you don't know. You don't know where that idol's going to go. So, and here's the other key part is like, okay, Steven, if you had to line them all up, Steven is probably the biggest threat that isn't with you right now. But he's not that big a threat, right? Like, is he that much more a threat than Sage and Joanne? I don't know. And Kristina, of course, is non-threat altogether. So, like, whatever. The only thing threatening about her possibly is that she has an idol, right? An idol could be threatening. Kristina, not.
Yeah.
And frankly, only threatening if she plays it for somebody not.
Right. I'll have more on that shit later.
Let's just do it now. I know you've been wanting to say it.
Oh, it's made me so mad. So, like, one of the reasons that I got irrationally angry, like I've made clear, my rooting interest is Sage. I didn't expect her to be a good player. She's been better than I expected. Of late, there's been some pretty substantial flaws in her game. I mean, part of it is, too, like, she has said some of the right things. It's just she hasn't pushed to get her way on some things when she really needed to. But at the start of this episode, do you know how fucking maddening it is to watch two different people, including the one that I'm rooting for, Sage, sit there and suggest that they need to get rid of Kristina because she has an idol? Like, enraging to watch them sit there and say that, like, Kristina, who no one wants to vote out, no one's afraid of, she's got the idol, and you're like, we got to get rid of her. I don't know if you are as much of a Survivor historian as I am, but like way back, like one season ago, Eva had the idol, and no one fucking cared because they didn't need her gone anyway. This is that exact same situation, and they're like, well, we're going to have to get her out. No, you don't. It is ideal that she has the idol because no one cares. You're not going to vote for her anyway. I got so fucking mad that they even
especially
suggested
if you're
it.
kind of aligned with her. Like, again, for the other side, it's just bad that somebody on the other side has the idol.
Sure.
Because of what happened tonight, right? But yeah, it's like, oh no, we can't vote out Kristina, a thing that we weren't entertaining and doing in the first place.
Right. There's no threat to keeping Kristina around anyway. So, like, she's not suddenly an amazing, active player just because she acquired an immunity idol. Like, she's still not a target, not a threat. You're perfectly fine taking her to the end. It's just, what even was that discussion? Obviously, they didn't follow through with it. They did move the target to Savannah, but Jesus, like, why even was that suggested? Even as a throwaway thing? No, you gotta be kidding me.
I think the first thing I heard you read about this, was that, and I'm like, man, that didn't even register for me because it's like, I think I had already written off all of them as dummies anyway, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, it didn't like, oh, no, not you two. It's like, yeah, no, this is why you're losing to my boy, Rizzo.
3 different people are calling themselves my boy, and none of those people are my actual boy. So I'm very disappointed in this season. Also, my boy has the right personality to know not to call herself my boy. So it's fine. It's working out. Yeah, it's been obnoxious with the my boy shit, or your boy shit. Sorry.
That's right. Yeah, boy.
Yeah, boy. Yeah.
Maybe it's the thing that one of them says, and now it's catching on, or in their boy band ways. But yeah, so like, I thought they played that really well, but great on Nate and Savannah, the long-term planning of getting a potential ally or at least vote. And thus being able to turn the game around. Like, really, it should be noted. I am noting it. Like, this was long-term planning coming to fruition, longish term, right? Survivor, but frankly, longer than we get a lot lately with the twists and turns, right? Yep. It wasn't happenstance. They could have just voted Sophie out. They're like, well, why would we do that? And now here they are, not even having to use an idol, turning the game around, going into the next episode with a numbers advantage if things stay the way they are. But was it the right move for Yellow Sophie?
Oh, okay. Again, I had so many takes from this episode. And this is another one because one of my favorite things the Yellow Sophie said in this episode, actually the only favorite thing, because really I don't want to listen to her talk. I find her incredibly boring. But so she's talking about her strategy, right? And she's like, I need Savannah around as a challenge shield because she's the only one who even comes near me in these challenges. Right after Steven was her strongest competition in the challenge. Like, bulletproof logic. Yeah, we got to get rid of Steven because, I need a challenge shield around. Yeah, the guy that came in number 2, the one that was actually very close to you in this challenge. You're like, I got to get rid of him because,
Yeah. Who could have maybe possibly beaten you in the last one? He just didn't have to keep going. Like, we don't know, right? It was weird, actually, that they did women and men last one. It didn't really strike me as a challenge that was more beneficial to one gender than the other.
No, I think it's just
dudes tend to skip late day.
I think it was more that just they wanted to have 2 immunities. That was it.
Yeah. Anyway, I'll say, and I guess also we don't know for sure when she gave that confessional whether it was pre or post challenge.
Nice, that's fair.
Let's just say it was. It's rationalizing what she wants to do. What she wants to do is she's finally found some people, really for the first time in the entire game, that want her, that want to work with her. And I'll say, she does strike me as somebody who kind of wanted to really play Survivor, do strategic things. Again, I don't want to make she's some awesome player, but she's the way she talks to people is a little more straightforward and all that. And that was not the vibe on Yellow. Maybe that's why she was on the outs. Forget any weird conspiracy theories. She was maybe just too frank and blunt about the fact that this is a game of strategy and voting people out, because there's at least one person on Yellow who really finds that distasteful. We'll get to it. And so I think finding people that really wanted to work with her, even though it's really just for their own benefit, the motivation of getting back at those people who clearly neglected her, and then probably just hey, these guys get it, right? She's playing with morons before. These people aren't morons, so I think she feels like she's found a home, and then everything there is just justification whether it's the right move for her or not. And I think that's where I'm going to vote out Steven because I need to get him out. He's a big challenge threat. I need to keep Savannah because I need a challenge shield. It's those two things don't compute.
Mm-hmm.
But was it a good idea though? Still, even forget her motivations. Is it? I'll say it buys her one more round of usefulness, right? That the other 3 shouldn't Savannah, Rizo, and Blue Sophie shouldn't target her this round because that would just make it 3-3 all over again.
Right. She is going to serve some purpose playing the middle, which I think is basically her stated goal. She wants to have some power. She wants to feel she's the swing vote.
Yeah, and having a real true alliance, that door was closed to her. And good bravo for her for realizing it, right? Yep. Whereas if she had just been no, the biggest threats to any of us are Rizo, Savannah, I should just get rid of one of them. Well, her utility ends this round. Where they didn't even really truly need her, that makes it 5-3. But then that gives them an ability, because they don't know about the extra vote. That gives them the ability to what they did is put a spare vote on Rizo in case the idol is played for Savannah, and then Kristina's idol protects those 3's target, and then the one vote would send Rizo home. That's, I'm guessing, the idea of the split. So
that was the
idea.
Has
utility there, whereas if she'd stayed with that group, she has no utility next week, and she could just as easily be the person they vote out if, the survivor of Savannah and Rizo win immunity, for instance. So from that point, I think it is the right decision just to get her one more vote. And then after that, she's got to just win immunities or, flip and flop, see what happens. And, maybe then she can flip and Savannah and Rizo are a bigger threat than like Steven and Kristina are. So her reasoning for doing it, like, if she's lying to us, I think it's mostly just personal, but I still think it was probably the right call. Will it help her win? I mean, this would be the worst edit a winner has ever gotten. So
amazing.
But in real time, she doesn't know that.
No. And I think you're right. Strategically, it makes sense at the very least. Like, is it the best move? Who knows? It could go either way. But at the very least, you can make a strategic argument for why she should have played this way. So,
and then like
I'm
her
fine with
idea of like choosing Jawan instead of Sage. Sage told her about Kristina's idol, and Jawan didn't. So if she thinks she has a closer relationship with Sage, she's probably not wrong. And in terms of like who's more threatening, neither either. Like one thing. Jawan apparently is very well liked by everybody but Savannah. And hard to believe that Savannah might be different in terms of warmth than other people. But like that was in a secret scene. That's why like Kristina gave up her reward to him. Apparently people actually genuinely like the dude. So from that respect, maybe he was more threatening. But because it's like, I can't sit here and say, oh, you don't want to go to the end with Sage. I don't know that I can say that.
Right.
But ultimately, yeah, it could have just been like, yeah, Sage told me something Jawan didn't, so let's give her to him. Sure.
So let's talk about the other Sophie for a minute.
Yeah.
And partly because...
You have more takes.
Yeah, I mean, I really want to just keep validating the things that I've been saying all along, which is that, like, of course she's not going to fucking play the knowledge is power thing. Like, of course she's not. It would make sense for her to play it at some point soon. And I have this vibe about her that she's just never going to play it. She's not going to. And like in this episode, she's even like, I can't play it. What if I play it incorrectly? I will look so foolish. Like,
who fucking cares?
Right. Oh my God. I hope her fucking inertia bites her in the ass. I hope that Rizzo plays the idol on the episode where they vote Sophie out and she could have just had it and saved herself. Like that is what I want to see happen. And just it won't, because, like she is not going to use it effectively. She's such a like timid player and I can't stand it. Especially because in contrast to the other two who are just like, hey, fuck it. We can mess with these people and just slam on the gas.
If I die, I die. Well,
right.
Fuck it, we ball. Yeah.
Nope. Yep. She's like, I don't give a shit. I'm just going to hang back and hope that no one notices me. I hate that shit.
Yeah. I mean, she watched MC play her idol that she pretty much knew about.
Yep.
Again, I guess she doesn't like her knowledge of Christine's idol is like third hand. So
yeah, it's iffy.
Again, it's not 100%. It's pretty good percent, and now that idol's gone. So again, unless... And I suppose it's not out of the question. The previews for next week suggest, although I would have suggested that last week's previews also suggested that maybe a knowledge is power play was going to happen this episode. That maybe she'll want to steal Rizzo's idol.
Sure.
Again, if Rizzo and Savannah aren't winning, it's because somebody does something.
Mm-hmm.
So
right. And again, like logically, it would follow, right? Like that would be an easy way for their downfall. It's just, I have a hard time believing Sophie's got it in her. She just doesn't seem like she's got anything.
Maybe Yellow Sophie gets it out of her, right? But again, that's the thing. She did the on paper right thing of not telling anybody that she has this knowledge of power. That has destroyed everybody who's ever had the knowledge is power. The knowledge of his power, counteracts it, right? But I feel like she specifically really could have told somebody who could think this through and do the thinking for her, right?
Yeah.
Like, we know what would have happened if Savannah or Rizzo had that knowledge is power.
Yes.
They'd be using that knowledge to be gaining some power.
Exactly. So yeah, I
like Savannah would steal that from Kristina and absolutely not vote her out so she could stare her in the face and wear that fucking idol back to camp.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, honestly, that
like the fucking scalp that she took.
I would have liked it. I mean, it would fit. It would fit the vibe, right? It's the type of person she is. So if I'm gonna go all in on appreciating the absolute psychopath that she is, like, no, that tracks. I'd be down to watch that. Yeah.
Speaking
Alas.
of Kristina.
Yeah. Let's talk Kristina because she had an episode that
in more than ways than one.
Yeah.
Homonyms.
That it definitely could have been a Kristina Boot episode with the amount of Kristina content we get because realistically, why do you need that much Kristina content in general?
Fewer people, I suppose.
Sure.
90 minutes.
But you know what, though? Her clinging to a balance beam and then pulling herself up when, like, she's the type of person that gives off these, like, physically inept vibes. That is basically Jeff's kink right there. Like, if you...
catnip.
Oh, my God. If he has a FetLife profile, it's basically just all iterations of that scenario. I don't even know what kink you describe that as, but that's it. That's his whole thing. He was probably rock hard when that was happening.
Every week you teach my wife new things about the internet, by the way. She's going to be asking me later, like, what?
Oh, sweet.
Anyway,
I'm glad to have corrupted her further.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I care not for those moments, but more like specifically, it's like, we're considering that still on the balance beam? I feel like, and maybe it's because I watched too much Ninja Warrior. She felt like she wasn't really still on. Like, I guess she's touching it. It's like, I feel like she's falling off.
Yes.
Balance.
Right. And that's the thing is, like, having watched Ninja Warrior, if you got your foot in the water,
that's it. You're out.
You hit the water. Right. Go back. You're done.
Now, obviously, the water isn't as close because we saw, like she wasn't the first to just have her feet in the water. I believe like Rizo and Blue Sophie did as well. But like it wasn't just her feet. Like she fell sideways into that. Again, her arms were still on there. But it's like, okay, does that mean you could just dive in and like hold the thing?
Hold on to the thing. Yeah, exactly.
Use it like a ladder, like when you're at the side, like the deep end of the pool as a kid.
Yeah. That is just,
right. Presumably it's within the rules because they have people there. And I would hope that like other like teams would be like, bullshit, she's not on.
That's the thing is.
Sorry about your fucking mom.
They wouldn't do it right then. Well, Savannah would. If Savannah wasn't on her team, Savannah definitely would have. But like, I think it's really just, Probst in the moment is like, I can decide. She's fine. She's on.
Yeah.
It counts.
So that was that. About her episode at when they got to the challenge, I'm not here to police human grief. It's a real thing, and you never know how it's going to come about. So, like, legit. I know it feels like a butt is coming on here. I think there is one, but like seriously, human, like no more problem. I, of course, would have had a real difficult time in that, like, oh shit, this is awkward.
Yep.
But that's me. That's not healthy on my side.
We don't understand emotions, Andy.
I get them, but it's just like, they're there. Like, I wouldn't have been like, do it for your fucking mom. So I'm better
so
on
you're
the
not
human
insane?
levels on that. Yeah. But so truly, it just as the first time this came up, true sympathy. That's tough stuff. But it's not lost on me that each time that she has these breakdowns is when the game has taken a bit of a turn for her. And look, maybe that's how it works, right? Yep. You face adversity and you don't know how you're going to respond. But it's like, okay. Like the first time was when Jeff announced that there's going to be like a swap and she like goes into a panic attack, right? And then she loses a vote. Like she seemed like she was doing fine when she thought she had the numbers.
Yep.
Right? And then she doesn't. And this. And again, we don't know the stressors and all that. It was like, I don't know that you would have been that much better if your mom was still with us, because she wasn't going to be on that island with you.
Yeah. Also, saying that it's a mean game, which it is. We've discussed this many, many times, and that you're maybe not cut out for it. Well, it seems to be more of a problem when you're at risk.
Yeah, you seemed like weird. You were fine when, like, Yellow Sophie was going to get thrown to the wolves. Like, that was fine. Wasn't a mean game then.
Right. I mean, it's not unlike when we were talking about, Savannah's story about being the outcast at her job, where it's like, well, you could react to that by being like, I will never outcast anybody. Or you could take the turn where you're like, no, only I should be able to outcast people from our groups. I should always be the in-group. Like it's sort of similar, lines of thinking here. It's like, well, this game is terrible when I'm potentially losing. It's so
why
mean.
is it a mean game when Alex is voted out, but it wasn't a mean game when you voted Nate out? You know, it's like, I can't get with that. Trauma or no trauma, right? We're all people. We're all choosing to play this game. And my ultimate take is, and this has been a running theme for the entire season, that the structure of the game kind of broke this season. And obviously now I'm willing to admit that maybe the ceiling was never going to be very high with the cast that they had.
Right.
But the fact that the piling on the loser tribes that they're always losing, has this effect where it's like, well, we don't even know the other people, and really start to dislike the people that are always losing because they give off the stench of losers. Well, here's another problem that stems from all of this. In a normal season with true competition and all that, Kristina never should have been this fucking far in Survivor.
Right.
And this is what happens when a first boot makes it this far.
Yep.
So it's like, I bet it is hard for you because you shouldn't be here. But there just was never an opportunity to get rid of you when it mattered. And now nobody's going to want to get rid of you because why should you?
Yep.
You're admittedly terrible at the thing that we've come here to do.
Well, that's the thing is, that's what I was saying earlier, is at this point, why would you be at all concerned about Kristina? Like, she can just coast her way.
She takes your spot in the final
That's
three.
the only reason, the Sari reason, right? Where it's like, well, no. There's only so many spots. I need hers. Fine.
Yeah.
But that's about the only time where you're like, nope, I'm not cool with Kristina going far in this game. At this point.
Yeah. So, like, as a human being, full sympathy, like, real. That's not just, real. But you shouldn't be on Survivor, and I don't need to respect the fact that you are. And look, you didn't know, man. People don't know until they're put under these stressors. No shade, but I fail to see what anybody saw her in her in the first place. Like, she's not engaging again. Like,
I mean, realistically,
corporate type. Like, again, is this the best you could do?
Not engaging applies to so many people on this
Fair.
season. It's not just her. Yeah.
Like, she seems like a nice person.
Sure.
I don't know that that's a big requirement for Survivor, if I'm being honest.
Exactly. I'm a nice person. I don't know that I'd be entertaining on Survivor. So
I don't know if I'm a nice person.
Right.
And I also don't think I'd be
at times
entertaining on Survivor. I do okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just like, I don't know. This almost feels like it's that moment. And obviously, as you say, what Jeff lives for now.
Mhm.
It's like the apotheosis of like the modern Survivor outlook. And I feel like, again, we had gone too far the other way, and 39 was the nadir.
Yep.
As a result, I think we've gone too far, where it's just like somebody just breaking down over the fact that they lost a vote. What are we doing here?
Right.
Again, sometimes grief affects people when you're not ready for it, and that's true and it's real. And I'm not an asshole in that regard, but it's still like, I feel like if you had successfully voted out, who were they voting that time? Rizo? I don't think they were voting Rizo. I can't remember.
I can't either.
Because they couldn't vote out Savannah. Whatever. If they had successfully voted out whoever they were trying to vote out in that vote, Kristina wouldn't be missing her mom so much that day. And it's like, okay, well, that's poor sportsmanship, man. What are we doing here?
Let's talk about something else.
Voting people out isn't immoral just when it's the people that you like.
Let's talk about another thing that took place in this episode at the challenge, where Jeff he does the thing that he's been doing for the past several seasons, right? Like, he'll twist it up a little bit as he does. He comes out and he's like, let's negotiate for some rice, right? Like, here's the deal. I'm dropping this rice here. Need 3 of you to drop out. And Juwan is like, hold up. Here's a counter. 2 of us, half the bag. And Jeff's like, no. and correctly points out, like, just because you offer it doesn't mean I have to take it. That's not how negotiation works. Fair, right? And then he's like, but actually, fuck it. What if we just don't negotiate? Which is insane.
Such weak sauce.
It's just like, he's like, oh no, I love a negotiation. Anyway, it's done right now. You guys should go through the challenge.
You guys already said you wanted to do this. And so many things about that. First, as you point out, I mean, look, nobody else is speaking up. Good on Joanne for trying, but like, you need Savannah for this job.
Yep.
It's like, who do I need to kill? Let's do this.
Well, like me personally, I fucking love negotiation, right? So the moment when Juwan, having lost the negotiation by saying that no, he won't do half the bag of rice for 2 people, is like, how about a quarter? No, you let that man finish talking. Don't negotiate yourself lower. And Savannah even corrects him, which again, you're gonna earn some points for me for like, yes, shut that man down. He's gonna negotiate you down to nothing.
Yeah, but like it was clearly like just by the numbers. I when they came in, I feel like they did not want the survivors to take that deal.
Nope. Yeah, I think that's why he gave it up so quickly. Just like, no, we're actually not going to negotiate for this.
Because it was a pretty elaborate challenge setup. Usually it's like, all right, 3 or 4 or 5 of you aren't going to stand here for an hour, right? Like It's usually that kind of challenge. And that also leads me, like, I've often said, like, people are like, why would you give up that just for food? You can get food in a week or whatever. It's like, maybe you knew you were never going to win this particular challenge.
Right.
So if you're not going to win anyway, like no matter what, nothing will happen for me to ever be able to compete at this challenge. And that's certainly been the case with several of these challenges.
Right. There's
then
definitely challenges.
Up, like, I could get voted out, sure, but it doesn't matter. Like, me competing in the challenge isn't going to change that.
Yes.
Whereas maybe I can get some rice. But this wasn't that, If I was there, it's like, fuck, I want to do this challenge. This looks like fun as hell.
Yeah. That's the thing. It's like, there will be those challenges where I'm like, I would stand no chance. I would absolutely sit out if you offered me something for it. Like, sure, it could be like
getting something for nothing.
Right. Because, like, yes, in theory, you never know until you try. But I know, at this point in your life, we know our strengths and weaknesses, right? So we can look at this challenge and be like, that ain't me. That's fine. If there's some where you might be like, I can compete in this. Like, I'm going to take my shot. Like, maybe I won't win, but I'm going to take the shot. There's some that you're just going to know. No. This would be a waste of my time. So if I can get something for not wasting my time in this challenge, great. What a win.
Yeah. So my hope is this is the end of this. Yeah. And there's people in comments probably really funny. It's like if like they like Angelina makes it to this one, and then it could be like, well, Jeff, we're doing this or we're not doing this.
Yes.
But it was so half-hearted that it was like, I feel like much like this entire season, we're just killing time to get to 50.
Yeah.
So they didn't put a lot of effort into the rice negotiations. Like, apparently we got to do that here, but they're not going to take it. They didn't take it last season. Let's just, and it gives us a moment where it shows how our competitors are all too hardcore. No, Jeff, I would rather starve than give up my opportunity to compete. And you got enough of that. It's like, so we're not going to do it. Like, okay.
But then, simultaneously, he's thinking of next season, he's going to have Angelina back. And he's like, nothing we do here is going to hold a candle. Like, I just move along. That could be it too. Rush through this thing. It's not going to be anywhere near as good as what Angelina will bring us. So, all right.
You don't think Sage could be as good as what Angelina will bring us?
No, I don't. That's not her skill set. I appreciate Sage for what she is. That's not the skill set, which is fine. You can like people for different things. That's not her.
So I want to talk about Sage for a bit.
Let's.
So early in the season, you won't remember because you weren't on these podcasts for most of them. I was out on Sage. I was like, no, thanks. The weird girl, like all you do is talk about excrement and flatulence.
Yes. Which
I
don't know why you're out. Like, this is the whole selling point, but whatever.
Okay. And then obviously she made that turn, very cannily, got out Shannon. I was like, okay, there's something there. And like since then, obviously, like she said things that she's got like a better than expected game awareness. I gotta say, after tonight, I'm back to being out on Sage.
Yeah, I can understand it. Like I said, I mean, it's just the thing about targeting Kristina, which again they didn't go through with, but if that's the level that you're playing at, like, nah, you had a moment and now it's gone.
Yeah, I think what ultimately happened, and it was there. Like, I didn't necessarily rule it out as a possibility, but like, we confused personal animus with game savviness. It's like, was she savvy about the game, or did she really just not like Shannon and Savannah? And is she somebody who, like, is it social awareness or just aware of the way that certain personalities react to her, right? Like, she's had this feeling from those type of women before, and she is used to standing up for herself. Bravo for that. But it's like, I don't know that she's actually going to survive her so much as she's good at holding grudges against people who do not like her.
Well, I am, of course, not out on Sage because I wasn't on board for the strategy in the first place. Right. But all the same, like, even then, I think there's still time for her to turn it around.
It could. As my feelings on her and then Rizzo have shown, I'll flip whatever way. It don't matter.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, it's not going to change my perception of her all that much because I don't need her to be a great player. I just want to be entertained, and she's one of the few people this season that can do it for me. So that's why I'm on board.
Where I was fully like, you know what, I'm out, was her bullshit at Tribal Council of all this. I don't know sports, but I think like, she didn't go full sports ball, superb owl, but it was the same tenor. And like, what? Like that, like, you've been on, cheering for her because unlike, somebody like Rizzo, who seems very packaged and all that, like, she seems like a genuine weirdo.
Yep.
And for me, that was just some try-hard weirdo bullshit.
That's fair. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's absolutely, like, there are things that I'm not into, but I'm aware of, and I'm not going to, like, shame people for being into those things. It's fine that you like shit that I don't like. I don't need. There's plenty of people who would judge you for watching Survivor. Like, why? Don't give that same energy back to them about the shit that they're into. Just, it's fine for you not to like it. You don't have to make other people not like it or feel bad for liking it. Just be like, I don't watch the Super Bowl, but I'm aware of it.
Yeah.
You can just say that.
Well, here's the thing. It's like, because you're not. It's not successful either. As you say, you shouldn't shame people for what they like. You're not shaming anyone. You're like,
right.
Oh, this cultural touchstone that's incredibly popular. Oh, you like that? It's like, yeah, I like that. People like that. Like, yeah. And it's this reflexive nerd like, oh, I'll show you the way you make me feel. I'll show you by being like, oh, sports ball. And it's like, here's the thing, nerds, you're not making us feel that way.
Nope.
We don't give a fuck is the thing, right? You're not like, oh, what, you don't know how to. No, it's just like, oh, okay, whatever, weirdo. Like, that's the reaction you're getting. So like, that the attempt to like reflect back that indifference that people have shown you about your thing, it's transparent.
Yep.
And ineffective.
It doesn't land. Yep.
Yeah. It's like, and like, yeah, it's fine. Like, I get it. I mean, sports, nothing is for everybody, right? But like, the idea like this, like, oh, sports is bad. I promise you, it's not. Again, there's a lot of positives could be drawn from it. I speak as a youth, coach of sports. But it's just like more of that. It's like, yeah, no, people can like things, and it's fine if you don't. But the idea, like, oh, what's the Super Bowl? Fuck you. You've heard of the Super Bowl.
You say that nothing is for everyone, but I beg to differ, and I think that this week's top 3 will prove that because we're doing top 3 boy band songs, and I feel like just there might be different answers for people. But at some point, like, almost everybody listening is going to be like, oh, yeah, I immediately have some thoughts, because it's a near universal thing. You're going to have some boy band stuff that you like. So we're going to do top 3 boy bands this week.
How about probably for the first time this season, the episode giving us like a real top 3. We didn't have to stretch this at all.
Yeah, it was great. Also, although I did... I considered being a dick and just putting like a Beatles song in here just to piss some people off. But no, I'm not going to do it.
I wanted to address that really quickly because it is in comments too. And like, you get like, nobody was as cheered in the way that boy bands are than early Beatles.
Right.
So you can make that. Our good friend Mike in comments, like why he wouldn't consider that. Now, he's a big Beatles fan, but I think this is like, they play their own instruments, right? So like, if they are genuine musicians, that might, again, people can have their own rubric.
Sure.
But I think that's a fine rubric to be like, they're a little bit more than a boy band. Like the idea of a boy band is like they're singing, they're dancing. They might be like a manufactured entity or something like that, packaged type thing.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, again, if your list can be different, you'd be like, no, man, like, I want to hold your hand. It's like, yeah, man, that's right up there with the songs where they sing. But I also just felt like that makes the top 3 less fun if I was just going to be like, you know what, I'm going to list 3 songs from the greatest rock band of all time.
Right.
It's not where I'm going.
Exactly. And really, it would have just been to fuck with people by making them call the Beatles a boy band. But realistically, like, and I think there is some gray area as to how you define it, but I don't think that any acts that we're going to name in this are going to make people be like, well, that's not one. It's kind of like a guy. You know who a guy is.
Yeah.
So.
I'll say my honorable mention is a group that 100% absolutely qualifies.
Yeah.
And the song is probably the best song of like better than the 3 songs I'm going to list. I have them as honorable mention because like it came out 8 years before I did.
Okay.
And that's like, it was always kind of classical, well, not classical, but classic pop music to me.
Mm-hmm.
So it didn't, like, in my life, it didn't feel like the boy band idea. And that's I Want You Back by the Jackson 5.
Damn it. Yep. That's my number 3.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, because it's genuinely good music. Like, they're very talented.
And they're like literally boys. So like they're absolutely qualified. It's like, well, like when I think of boy band, like for me, there's like, that's my parents' music. It's fucking fantastic. But yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and that's the thing. It's like, obviously Michael Jackson, regardless of whatever might have happened in the rest of his life, very talented musician or singer and performer.
Hot take.
I know, right? So yeah, like, genuinely like a good song, great for that era, and still holds up. So yeah, what's your number 3?
I went for number 3. I went with "I Want It That Way" by the Backstreet Boys.
Perfectly reasonable.
Yeah, fantastic jam. Only made better by one of the perfect cold opens in sitcom history when they used it on Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Yeah, I didn't see that
watch
one.
that show? Oh,
no, I don't. No.
I'll send you a clip.
Okay.
I was gonna make you appreciate this song more if it's not.
I don't know that you could, because
you would think, and yeah, anybody would be listening, be like, yes, yeah.
But I mean,
and what's beautiful about the song is that the lyrics are meaningless.
Yes.
And literally, and people are like, that's not me being a snob. It's that the songwriter was Swedish and he didn't really understand English all that well. He was only concerned with the math of the rhythm and meter. And in fact, he brought in somebody else to write some English language, Mutt Lang, who does like a lot of Avril Lavigne stuff. And the Backstreet Boys are like, no, we'll just go with this. You are my fire, my one desire. Like, that works. That works.
Sure.
And like, it works. It does. Who cares what it means?
And this is how you know that it works, because like, if you were in like a large group of like a millennial Gen X crowd, and if you just play those first few words, people are going to sing along to that shit. We all know it. Like, you're probably going to get most of the room singing along with it, right? So that's how you know it's good.
You're going to have a blast.
It's going to be so stupid, and we're all going to laugh at each other and smile and like, we're all singing the dumb song together. It's going to be great. Yeah.
Tell me why.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You're not going to hear that in a crowded room of people in the like 30 to 50 age range and then not hear them singing along with it. It's just going to happen.
All right. What do you got at 2?
Okay. So my 2 is Boys 2 Men, Motown Philly. Yeah, just it like, so nice transition, because I'm actually moving forward in time. You know, I started with Jackson's. I'm moving forward to Boys to Men. Not to give it away, but my next one.
90s.
My next one will be after that. But yeah, Motown Philly was just not like the classic Boys to Men song, because generally they were much more singers. This was much more like New Jack Swingy, upbeat type stuff. But yeah, a very fun song though.
A little fun Purple Rock Andy trivia. Very first CD I ever owned.
Oh,
Boys to Men, Motown Philly.
Wow.
In fact, it was a Christmas gift the year my parents also got me a CD player. So my mom, so that it would be like fancier, bought the imported version, which there's no difference. It's same track list. But here's the difference. You guys in America at that time used to have otherwise ridiculous, worthless long boxes for the CD, so it would fit in the shelves, like the racks.
Ah, yes.
Just a complete waste of paper, insane. Because then it's still packed, like all the plastic packaging and then jewel casing, all that under. In Canada, we didn't do that. So that I would have a nicer parcel. Like she bought the long box version of it, and then I took the I took the box and I like opened it up and put it on my wall like a poster. All right.
Good job, Andy's mom.
There you go. My number 2, and part of me is like, maybe I should be choosing boy bands of like my era, some Gen X boy bands, but I can't help but that the millennials had Max Martin making music, right? That guy is just a genius when it comes to pop music, and so I went with Bye 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 by NSYNC.
Yeah, that's my number 1.
Yeah, so good.
Yeah, I mean, again, same vibe where it's like, once it starts playing, everybody's going to be like, yeah, we all know this song.
You like to fool yourself that you could do a bit of the dance.
Yep.
Bit.
You're doing a little wave, like, oh, that's so cute. No.
It's great.
Yeah.
It's Deadpool and Wolverine overplayed it a bit. It was like a meme throughout the summer that you're completely unaware of that existence.
Yep.
But it's still, you can't kill it. It's that much fun. So for my number 1, I am going back to my generation, and I'm going with "If It Isn't Love" by New Edition.
Oh wow!
New Edition would be my top boy band.
Okay.
They were the boy band from Boston before New Kids on the Block.
Yes, they were.
Their manager, who they sued and successfully got out from under, decided, you know what? Why am I messing around with black kids? I can make even more money.
I've got a plan,
and I'll exploit the Wahlbergs. But yeah, no, If It Isn't Love, and true to like the important boy band ingredient is there's a signature dance that goes along with it.
Perfect.
And the music video is just them like working on the dance, and it's one of the best music videos of the 80s as a result.
Well, and it is funny that this formula just persists, right? All you got to do is get like relative.
It doesn't.
Well, I mean, like it exists now in like K-pop, right? Like it's it's
so
not here.
It's disappeared from North American life.
Yeah.
For reasons that don't make sense. I think one reason I'll say is like groups almost barely exist.
That's
in
true.
North American music. It's just too much work to get that many people. But it persists. They know in the other part of the world that people still love this shit to the degree that, sorry I interrupted, but we will listen to it even when it's not in English because people just want like the pretty singing, dancing boys doing melodies.
Yep. That's it. There's not a lot to it. I mean, we were still doing girl groups here for a while, but those have fallen off too. Like, we've really stopped. And it is
Beyonce
really
left, and it's like, screw it.
It's for economic reasons. Like, that's really it. It's just, it's too hard financially to make it all happen. They don't do it anymore.
Yeah, nobody has a space to practice and all that, but one person can, shoot a thing with their, iPhone. This is why there's no rock bands anymore as well. Yeah. I'll say I considered going honorable mention to, Soda Pop by the Saha Boys. I don't know if you're familiar. Are you familiar? I know you do not watch movies, but you have children.
I know. I was actually encouraged by one of my children to use that song on this list. And I was like, why would I don't even know.
That's the same reason. Right. I can't actually, it'll be for the kids. Look, Uncle Andy has heard of your,
right. That's what I'm saying. It's like, no, this is my list.
Yeah.
Get away, children.
But anybody who wants to, absolutely. Like, in comments, there should be K-pop because that's where boy bands still live.
Yes. That's what's happening right now in the world of boy bands. All right. And so if you want to give us your list, you can always, there we go, that's the word, head to purplerockpodcast.com. You can comment there, or you can hit the little text button. You can send us stuff. I actually, you know what? I have failed us. I didn't even look at the...
There weren't any.
There weren't? Okay.
No.
Nothing or just nothing good? Because, nothing good is also a thing that happens.
No, and I imagine everybody was spending their time getting ready for the holiday.
Oh, yeah. The holiday that we have that you don't.
America.
Yeah, exactly. All right. So anyway, if you wanted to text us, you can do so. And then maybe we'll respond to it next week. Unless there's, exciting things that happen like there was this week. Anything else, Andy?
Hit the music.
This is the copyright-free outro to the Purple Rock Survivor podcast.